that. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. You just refuse to back down, even when you know that you're
Just do. But you're going to be down the mall. So, you know the way the guns fight. My way, then it's down.
But hold me back.
Lydia. Lydia, bye-bye. Lydia, bye-bye.
Minister one.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Okay. I've already given my message. Yes, it's we give thanks to God and thank you to all who cast their vote. But to be assured of the fact that my representation of the constituency is not just for my party or those who voted, but as usual, as in my previous terms, it's to represent all members of the constituency and to work diligently to make sure that they're getting the best that they can as a constituency. Thank you.
Time member of Parliament for Clotte Corner. How excited are you about the prospect of representing this great constituency again?
Well, there is a bit of excitement, but there's also that sense of responsibility because my previous 2 terms were in opposition, and this term is going to be as a member of the ruling government. And of course, expectations are very high, and it's also about managing expectations because the reality of where we are is Ghana is in a bad space, and a lot of work has to be done to get us out of this. And it's going to be an interesting challenge, and I do pray that we'll be able to deliver what we promise to the people of Ghana, which is a level of integrity of leadership and of course transparency and probity in our governance.
Now, what do you think did the trick for you this time? Because you came up against some very strong opposition. What do you think did the trick for you?
Well, I think at the end of the day, by God's grace, people decided who would be a more genuine representative in spite of the amount of money that was pumped into the constituency, and I believe that's something that happened across the country. And I'm really glad that the voters showed that level of discernment. because to my surprise, the amount of money that we saw being thrown around made me wonder, why is Ghana in this mess in the first place if there was that much money? Why wasn't it used to make people's lives better? But I'm grateful to God because the machinations were quite extensive. But I believe that the hard work now begins. Winning is not the end, it's the beginning of the journey of the work that one has to do, and I'm committed to do it. So,
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We must not. Hey.
Hey, this is my good friend. I become a good friend. I say the many of you. Oh, I know. Retake it. Yes, retake it.
Yeah, that's right. Oh yeah. Months of 2025, and then the MPP caucus must recognize that the Ghanaian people have voted to reset this country. They voted against all of these crony tax waivers, which is just not in the national interest. I mean, President Akufo-Addo took office promising, read his first State of the Nation address, that he was going to deal with this abuse of tax waivers, and that tax waivers have been a drain on national revenues. So what has changed? I mean, there's no way we are going to support over $350 million in tax waivers to their crony companies. I mean, these are the things Ghanaians voted against: state capture, cronyism, nepotism, things that, I mean, you keep imposing excruciating, obnoxious, nauseating nuisance taxes on the ordinary Ghanaian. Then those who can pay, corporate Ghana, a selected few, just about 46 companies, because they are your cronies, they shouldn't pay taxes. They should have tax waivers. Why? When everybody else, when the Ghanaian people, the masses, said that don't impose e-levy, you slapped us in the face and even organized a party and baked an e-levy cake, insulted us on top of it. And all of them, the top hierarchy, were at that party. When the Ghanaian people said that, look, we hate e-levy. I mean, Momo is for the vulnerable, the ordinary folks. Don't tax it. They defied us. That's why they have been punished. We have stated that we are the only country, many months after COVID has been declared by WHO as no longer a pandemic. Ghana is the only country that our president continues to tax us. We have said COVID levy should go. They are refusing to abolish COVID levy, refusing to abolish the emissions tax, refusing to abolish the betting tax. And yet they've selected a few crony companies, and in this last minute, midnight, at the death of the administration, when they have been so roundly rejected by unprecedented margins, a margin of over 1.6 million, you still want to come and smuggle tax waivers. We are not going to accept it. We would not, because we are coming in to remove all of these obnoxious taxes. So we are going to have to deal with revenue shortfalls because of these taxes we are going to remove. The companies who must pay their fair share, you want to select your crony companies, about 46 of them, and make us lose revenue of over $350 million. That $350 million, it can help the new government to establish the Women's Development Bank so that our women can have their capital. That $350 million can help us to implement the no-fee stress so that first-year students who gain admission to our universities will not have to pay admission fees. It can help us to complete the e-blocks. It can help us to complete the Agenda 111 hospitals. Why do you want to deny the new government, the incoming government, of over $350 million in national revenues? Because you don't want your crony companies to pay their fair share. Look, the only matter we will work with, so far as revenues are concerned, is if they agree with us that immediately we should abolish e-levy we should abolish the COVID levy, abolish the emissions tax, abolish betting tax. That one they will get our cooperation because we've stated clearly on the campaign trail, it's in our manifesto, and we said in our first budget, the first 120 days, we are going to abolish all these taxes. But any other revenue measure targeted at supporting crony companies, nepotistic companies, how did they select those companies? What criteria was used? And they hide under, we are supporting 1D, 1F. It is not true. They just don't want crony companies to pay their fair share, and we are not going to allow that. Thank you. You're welcome.
1 minute.
I've seen people call you majority leader today. Lift your expectation. We have 5 days to prove you are majority leader. I will reserve further comments.
Yeah, thank you. You just refuse to back down, even when you know that you are.
This game. But you're going to be down the more. So, you know the way the guns fight. My way, then he's down.
But hold me back.
Take care, my dear.
Thank you.
Congrats. Parliamentary contact chairman. Whenever you're here,
Let's close the year once we